Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Ramon. How are you today? Excuse the face, I've gone and done my PM night routine and my skin's going a little bit through it just because my skin barrier's gotten a little bit compromised because I've been testing a lot of products, but it goes to show this is real skin. But that's not the point of this video. One thing I really like to talk about in my videos are skincare ingredients, and oftentimes I do mention what my favorite skincare ingredients are in specific products, but I also notice that oftentimes there's these little bumps in ingredient trends, really poppin' hot ingredients. For the longest time it was hyaluronic acid. I feel like 2020 has been all about niacinamide, and I blame Susan Yara. I call niacinamide her third child. But I think, for example, Naturium and a lot of other brands have done a lot to really highlight the role and the impact of niacinamide in skincare, and rightfully so. Not debating that fact. But I also have my own skincare ingredients that I love to highlight and love to see. And while I consider these really underrated ingredients, I am also putting these as contenders for hot ingredients of 2021, which is right around the corner now. Before I get into it, I'm gonna ask that you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you know when I post more skincare, sunscreen, and fancy related content on my channel. And down below, what are your thoughts on the ingredients I want to talk about in this video, or what are some of your choices for top contenders for hot ingredients of 2021? Let me know. Let's get right into it. First ingredient I'm gonna talk about is sulfur. Here's the tea. I have acne prone skin. For a good 5 years, I was really combating my acne, trying to figure out how to take care of it, diminish it, treat it. An ingredient I responded really well to was sulfur. A lot of times when you think acne, you think retinoids, benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid, but a lot of people they don't count sulfur, and sulfur is a heavy hitter. Reason being, it's a really great antibacterial ingredient, but not only that, it's great in specifically targeting the P. acnes bacteria in a really gentle way. So if you don't respond well to benzoyl peroxide, sulfur is a really great alternate for you. Not only that, but because it is a lot more well tolerated than benzoyl peroxide and a lot more suited for sensitive skin types, it does also work really well in conjunction with other acne fighting ingredients like salicylic acid or azelaic acid, etc. Some of my favorite products that feature sulfur include Sunday Riley's Saturn, which back when I started using that, it was a mask / spot treatment, but now I believe they're marketing it more as just a spot treatment. I like to use it on my areas of really bad congestion or as a spot treatment on any active spots. Peter Thomas Roth also does sell a sulfur-based mask that I have used before and like a lot as well. Next on the ingredients list, azelaic acid, and I've talked about azelaic acid a lot on my channel. I've highlighted a lot of different products with it. I also keep saying that I'm going to be doing a dedicated video on the ingredients, but I have to try out more products, so stay tuned, subscribe, notification bell, please. The same way that niacinamide is Susan Yara's third child, azelaic acid is my firstborn. I love the ingredient just because it has a lot of different properties to it. It's anti-acne, anti-inflammatory. It helps regulate sebum production. It helps with brightening the skin. It helps with texture. It does a lot. Sometimes it's harder to find in skincare ingredients just because it's a little bit more difficult to formulate with. But more recently, I've seen azelaic acid on the up and up in skincare launches, and it makes me really happy. It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Talking to a friend of mine, Raheem, aka Dr. Save Your Skin on Instagram, a black dermatology resident out of DC, he likes to recommend it to patients of color of his because they tolerate it a lot better than they do with retinoids. With retinoids, a lot of times when you're treating things like acne, pigmentation, or other skin texture related issues, you run the risk of irritation and inflammation, which leads to pigmentation, which we don't want in this nation. On the other hand, you can have azelaic acid at equal if not higher percentages, even up to about 20%, and you don't face the same likelihood of irritation as you do with retinoids. So if you're looking for an alternative to tretinoin for things like acne, skin texture, pores, or pigmentation related issues, azelaic acid could be your girl. Some of my favorite azelaic based products that I've been using recently and I've really loved include the Naturium Azelaic Topical Acid, the Facetheory Azeclear. You also have the Ordinary's Azelaic Acid Suspension 10%, which was my longtime staple for azelaic acid. And more recently, I've been testing out some of the Dr. Sam Bunting serums, which both feature azelaic acid very high up on the ingredients list, and so far, so good. So those are some of my favorites for azelaic acid. Next on the list, glycerin. Here's the deal. Glycerin is a humectant, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, hyaluronic acid for the longest time was the humectant to end all humectants. It held 1,000 times its weight in water. It was great at plumping up the skin, but you know what? There are other heavy hitters in the humectant game, and glycerin is one that I personally love. And here's the thing I don't think people realize is glycerin is literally in almost every single skincare item that you use, especially ones that really highlight hydrating the skin. So any serum, any moisturizer you have, go look in the bag, tell me if there's glycerin on it, because there probably is. Because she's the humectant that everyone uses, but doesn't get celebrated enough.
It doesn't matter who you are. Sometimes it's just lonely. I just want to be appreciated.
It's a top quality humectant that's been studied and used in skincare for decades, and it's naturally found in the skin. Actually, in formulation school, it's one of the first ingredients we actually learned about just because, surprising fact, glycerin is actually an alcohol, also known as glycerol. It also helps keep the skin protected from over irritation, and it helps keep the skin barrier in its most optimal state at the most cellular level. So glycerin's that girl. Keep your skin nice, plumped, hydrated, and I think you need to be appreciating it a little bit more. And again, glycerin's like in literally everything, so I don't have a specific product that I love, but if it had glycerin, it's good for you, girl. And on a similar note, a little adjacent little indentation here. Another humectant that I feel like needs to get a little bit more celebration, and my boyfriend specifically mentioned at the beginning of this video, was snow mushroom. Snow mushroom is basically nature's humectant. I remember Susan Yara saying that because it's featured in one of her topical acid serums that she just launched. It's an ingredient that I feel is on the up and up, and I'm really interested to see the hype around it in 2021. I remember working at Sephora, Volition, which is a skincare brand we carry at Sephora, was the first brand I really heard hype up and feature that ingredient more heavily. And in the years since, I feel like I've been seeing it more and more and more, but more so specifically in this last calendar year. So 2021 might be the year for snow mushroom. Next on the ingredient list, urea. And urea is one of those other ingredients that's actually in a lot of really great skincare products and has been used for a really long time that I feel is just slept on, but it's really important. But overall, urea is just a really great natural moisturizing factor that plays a really key role in skin hydration as well as overall skin barrier health. So some ways that urea helps with the skin is that first and foremost, it helps to regulate skin cell turnover. So it helps to slough off dead skin. Not only that, but it also enhances skin barrier function as well as having some antimicrobial properties as well. Again, there's a lot of products that feature urea. Oftentimes you find it towards the end of the ingredients list, but really look for urea in a lot of rich moisturizing creams just because, as I mentioned, it really helps specifically with barrier function and promoting barrier strengthening. So if your barrier is compromised, urea is a great ingredient to find. Next on the list is mugwort. And 2020 was the year for me to discover mugwort. I don't know if you remember, but I had my really bad contact dermatitis reaction. And I just so happened to be at the same time testing out the I'm From Mugwort essence. And let me tell you, dermatitis and mugwort was a match made in heaven. When I first got my contact dermatitis reaction, I was hastily, panically, I don't know if that's a word, looking up things I could use to help my skin and really help to reduce the inflammation and irritation my skin was facing with my reaction. Mugwort kept coming up a lot. And looking at the benefits, I understand why. First and foremost, you have really soothing, wound healing properties behind the ingredients that are going to help to bring down inflammation and irritation, reduce redness in the skin, but also help to, again, repair a damaged or compromised skin barrier because a compromised skin barrier is wounded skin. You also have some antibacterial properties in mugwort as well. So I'm not going to say it's anti-acne, but if you do have acne, specifically more inflamed pustules, I think it's a really good ingredient because it's going to calm down the inflammation as a result of the breakout and help to speed up the process of skin healing as a result of the breakout as well. You also get some antioxidant benefits out of it as well. So if your skin barrier is compromised or you find yourself with a lot of redness in your skin and you need a little bit of an anti-inflammatory benefits, mugwort's your girl. So if you're looking for some products that feature mugwort, I know I'm From is like the holy grail of mugwort based products. I personally, as I mentioned, have used the essence and found great success with it. Definitely repurchasing soon. But I also have a lot of friends like Kevin Cho who have talked about the entire I'm From line and have found really great success with their products. So I'm From's your girl for that. Next ingredients. CENTELLA. Here's the deal. In my mind, CENTELLA has been that girl. She's had that crown. She's held that title. And I actually did ask on Instagram about this topic, trying to see what people thought the next ingredient was or what they felt underappreciated ingredients were. And CENTELLA kept popping up and asking around. I guess the impact and status of CENTELLA isn't necessarily publicly known, but here's the deal. CENTELLA has a lot of really great benefits for the skin. It's wound healing, it's anti-inflammatory, so it really soothes the skin. It also has a lot of great antioxidant benefits to it, and it also helps promote skin moisturization and help to repair and strengthen the skin barrier as well. It does a lot for compromised, wounded, or damaged skin, but also just taking care of your skin on the daily. And CENTELLA itself is a complicated ingredient because oftentimes on an ingredient list, you'll see CENTELLA ASIATICA extract, but there's also a lot of different components and derivatives of CENTELLA. So you have ASIATICOSIDE, asiatic acid, madecassoside, madecassic acid. You can get variants or combinations of all of those, but basically they all come back to CENTELLA ASIATICA, aka go-to cola. Same thing. Asking other friends of mine, basically, CENTELLA is big. It's a very prominent ingredient used very frequently in Korean beauty, but it's just now starting to gain traction and gain recognition here in the Western world. Hopefully 2021 is the year that more brands in the West really start to incorporate CENTELLA into its formulations because it does a lot for the skin. We've seen it in products like Purito CENTELLA based everything, because for me, Purito's that girl. I'm mostly using a lot of products from a brand called Bar Cosmetics, and right now their CENTELLA Barrier Cream has been holy grail. Also Dr. Jart, and Dr. Jart was the first brand to ever introduced me to that, and they have their entire Cica Pair line. I love their mist, I love their gel cream, I love their sleeping mask when they still had that. So CENTELLA ASIATICA, definitely something that I think you should include in your skincare routine on the daily because you get antioxidant benefits, but it also helps to just maintain your barrier function and keep your skin juicy. Next on the list of ingredients that I hope to see hyped up in 2021, colloidal oat. Here's the deal. Colloidal oat, I was very confused about for a while, and I first really saw its rise to prominence thanks to Krave Beauty, who feature it in their Oat So Simple as well as their Great Barrier Relief, and I was like, what's the deal with this ingredient? Looking into it, I was like, oh, that's right, duh. Because remember back in the day when you had chicken pox and one of the things they told you to do was soak in an oatmeal bath? because I do. You remember that? Is that a thing? Colloidal oats has a lot of benefits, similar to Centella asiatica. Primarily what it does is it's an anti-inflammatory agent. So it really helps to calm down inflammation in the skin, reduce redness as a result of irritation, and helps to really soothe inflamed skin. But it also has, surprisingly to me, antioxidant properties. Would never have guessed that. Most importantly, what I think it comes down to is colloidal oat has a lot of skin protecting benefits to it. So again, compromised skin barrier, you want to protect your skin barrier, maintain it. And I feel like Krave Beauty introducing that into the skincare world was very fundamental in establishing that point. Granted, I know colloidal oat isn't like some brand new invention. That's really what Aveeno is all about. I mean, Aveeno literally means oat. And here's my thing, why I'm thinking 2021 is the year for it. I know Aveeno has colloidal oat, but for me, Aveeno is a little bit more pedestrian. Aveeno doesn't come to mind for a lot of people. But like glycerin, I feel like colloidal oat is an ingredient that's just really slept on and is about to really gain a lot of traction in the year to come. You get the anti-inflammatory, you get the antioxidant, but not only that, it's a great source of beta-glucan and omega-3 and 6 fatty acids. So it's doing a lot to really protect and maintain the integrity of your skin. As I mentioned, Krave Beauty, they got colloidal oat on lock. But another thing I've been trying with colloidal oat that I've been really surprised from the results of is the Facetheory Azeclear, which is fundamentally azelaic acid serum, but it also features colloidal oats, which helps to, again, calm inflammation in the skin, which I can attest to because when I first started using that, my skin was inflamed. And it just has a really nice, lightweight, humectant feel to it. So you get the azelaic acid, you get the colloidal oats, and your skin feels nice and plush afterwards. So something to check out. And the last ingredient I want to talk about is licorice root extract. It's an ingredient I've mentioned a lot in my videos. I love it and I've seen a lot of results from it, but I feel like it doesn't get the hype it deserves. Licorice root extract is an extract from licorice root. Can't really make that more simple. But what it does is it really brightens up the skin. It's a really great skin brightening ingredient. It's a really great tyrosinase inhibitor. And here's the deal. I found my love and joy for licorice root extract as a result of the Sunny-Raylight UFO clarifying oil, because while that really helped to clear and maintain my blemishes, it helped to really brighten my skin. And my acne scars were gone within like 3 months of using that product. At first, I really tried to figure out like, what is it? Is it the salicylic acid? But then I saw the licorice root extract in that and I was like, oh, that's a really interesting ingredient. And I saw further results in really maintaining my complexion with other products that just so happen to feature licorice root extract. So it's an ingredient my skin just loves. And I feel like 2020 was really the year of really highlighting ingredients that did a lot for brightening, like retinoids, like niacinamide, thanks to Susan Yara again, as well as the standard exfoliating ingredients like AHAs and BHAs. But I feel like licorice root extract needs its own pedestal. It needs its own spotlight. I want it to shine in 2020. I have a few other videos like my brightening pigmentation as well as exfoliating and brightening actives video that really highlight the impact of licorice root extract as well as a lot of other products that feature it. But I just really want 2021 to be the year that licorice root extract gets its limelight. Some products that I love to feature and love to talk about that have licorice root extract for brightening, again, Sunny-Raylight UFO oil. The Hyperfade patches from Zitsticka are also a really great option just because they feature licorice root extract in combination with a lot of other brightening agents. So you're getting a really, really good punch of brightening ingredients in one little package, as well as the ACWELL pH balancing toner, which is going to give you really nice hydration, but give you a little bit of a gentle licorice root extract punch to really help gently on a daily basis brighten your complexion up. It's also featured in another brightening powerhouse product, the Naturium Tranexamic Topical Acid, which features tranexamic acid, which is another ingredient that I feel is really on the up and up. But those two in combination with each other, again, are just a really great powerhouse to help brighten up any pigmentation, discoloration, acne scarring. So licorice root extract, I think it's our time. So with that, those are the ingredients that I feel like I really slept on, and I really hope 2021 just really gives them their time to shine, because I think it's time we tap niacinamide and hyaluronic acid out of the game. They got some competition. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so that you know when I post more skincare, sunscreen, and Fenty related content on my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, and down below, what are your opinions on the ingredients I just talked about? What are some of your favorite products highlighting them? Or what are some other ingredients that you think need some more time to shine? Let me know. Thanks for watching, guys.